سبيل الدموع سبيل مريح، تنهدى يا صاحي كي تستريح.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الله أكبر، الله أكبر، الله أكبر، الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة، حي على الصلاة، حي على الفلاح، حي على الفلاح. الصلاة خير من النوم. الصلاة خير من النوم. الله أكبر، الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله. اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة، آت محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة وابعث مقاما محمودا الذي وعدته، إنك لا تخلف الميعاد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. ربنا زدنا علما، ربنا زدنا علما، آمين يا رب العالمين. Today, inshallah, we'll be talking about the last of a hadith of Imam an-Nawawi, which he narrated. And this one's hadith number 42. Usually, all the other scholars who compile 40 hadith, they usually stop at 1 through 40. But instead, over here, Imam Nawawi decided that he wanted to do 2 more, because the 41st one reminded us to adhere to the 40th one, and this is a form of seeking forgiveness. And this hadith talks about the vastness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's forgiveness, so it fits perfectly. عن أنس رضي الله عنه قال: سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول: قال الله تعالى: يا ابن آدم، إنك ما دعوتني ورجوتني غفرت لك ما كان منك ولا أبالي. يا ابن آدم, لو بلغت ذنوبك عنان السماء ثم استغفرتني غفرت لك. يا ابن آدم إنك لو أتيتني بقربى الأرض خطايا ثم لقيتني لا تشرك بي شيئا لأتيتك بقرابها مغفرة. رواه الترمذي وقال حديث حسن صحيح. On the authority of Anas radiallahu anhu, who said, I heard the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam say that the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, O son of Adam, as long as you invoke on me and ask of me, I shall forgive you for what you have done, and I shall not mind. O son of Adam, were your sins, if your sins were to reach the clouds of the sky, and then you ask me to forgive them, I would forgive you. O son of Adam, were you to come to me with sins nearly as great as the earth, then you were to face me, ascribing no partner, I would bring you forgiveness nearly as great as it too. Reported by a Tirmidhi, who said that it is Hasan Sahih Hadith. Seeking forgiveness should be the final actions of a believer in whatever they do. At the end of Surah Nasr, we see the sign of the Prophet's death was telling him to seek forgiveness. And he said that it is when he knew this, his life was going to come to an end. Seeking forgiveness is the proper way into sealing the life of the believer. We can see from this ahadith that how easy Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it for seeking His forgiveness. This hadith has two main themes. That one, it talks about the extent of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's forgiveness and how to hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and do not despair in His mercy. So in this hadith we can see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala azza wa jal. He starts off by saying, O son of Adam, come to me and I will forgive you. That's the first part. And then the second part, he talks about how many sins you do, with the quantity of your sin, as in the quantity of your sin. And then the third part, he says how big your sin is. So he said, O son of Adam, if you were to come to me with a sin as great as earth. So he's talking about over here, like how big the sin is. The hadith started off with, O son of Adam, to remind us that we are all sinners and that our father Adam alayhi salam, even though he sought forgiveness after his sin, we still need to emulate that in him. Dua is essential into seeking forgiveness, as it is essential for worship as well. Worship contains of two pillars: that recognition of our weakness, and we need Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at all states. And number two, recognition that only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can come to our need whenever we need help. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can come to our need and grant us whatever we are lacking. Our dua is weak and lacking when, number one, we have little knowledge about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that person wouldn't feel that much with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He wouldn't give him what He would want to give him. So don't feel that He can see into our needs. So we have to be expressive towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We can't be shy in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number two, we have to feel independent. We feel independent and don't need any help. Thus, arrogance, which is the opposite of worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we should not be totally arrogant with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We shouldn't act like we are totally independent. And we shouldn't act very shy in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not even asking about Him, not even learning about Him, because we have little knowledge about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then. So we have to be right in between. From the important factors that help us having in our du'as accepted is the presence of a heart. A heart that has hope is what it supports in achieving that. The Prophet ﷺ said that ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with certainty of Him, answering your dua. And know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not accept dua from a distracted heart, reported by Tirmidhi. And the Prophet ﷺ also said in another hadith that the dua is accepted from you as long as you are not haste, saying that I asked and then but I was not answered. It is from the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give any a delayed response, even as that may make the servant turn more to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't directly answer your dua, you would spend multiple days trying to call onto Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, seeing if He would answer to your dua. This way we can also get closer. And in this form, we can gain many other hasana. This hadith is also another form of having hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when we study these 40 ahadith, we should be having hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If a believer finds himself not having hope in any of the matters, then he will live a miserable life. And it is due to the people suffer from depression like this and some things like this. When dua is coupled with hope, when it has hope in it, then it is an open door for forgiveness and acceptance. If either of these is missing, then the dua will not work and it will just be like a wish. Ibn Qayyim said that a heart in its travel to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala glorified, may He be like it's a bird. And then love is the head, hope and fear are its wings. To seek forgiveness more, we have to remove the worldly effects of the sins. We have to remove the ill effects of the sins in the hereafter. It is a form of gratitude for our shortcomings in worship, for our shortcomings in being grateful in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The last part of this hadith explains about the third contributor to forgiveness, which is pure tawheed. Tawheed is not just an academic thing that we learn in books, but it is very spiritual, and that is the meaning here. Ibn Rajab said that whoever sets tawheed in his heart, it will remove everything other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from his heart with regards to love, veneration, respect, and many other characteristics. Then all of his sins will be burned, even if they were like the foam of sea, and it may be changed then into good deeds. Main things that we have to get from this hadith, we always have to finish off anything that we do, either if it was an act of worship or not, with seeking forgiveness in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We should praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for His vastness of His forgiveness that He has promised us. When making dua, recognize your weaknesses in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and remember that you need Him for long, not the other way around, along with His ability to see to your needs. Always believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's answering of your dua and never give up on that, no matter how long you have been making dua for. Have hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in everything you do and everything you want, and even some things that you might need. Realize tawheed is not just an academic thing, and it is something that we must feel in our heart. جزاك الله خيرا. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم.
سبيل الدموع سبيل مريح تنهدى يا صاحي كي تستريح.